Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. And I just want to apologize quickly if you follow me on Twitter. I'm really sorry that I had to cancel and then uncancel the live chats today. I had something come up and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it in time to do the live chats, but I'm able to. So I'm so glad because I really wanted to talk to you guys about last night's episode because I thought it was excellent. And I thought that there were just so many clues that we definitely need to discuss. So I'm going to quickly say hey to a lot of people who have already been in the room for a while. Hi, Luke, Mel, Mega, Poke, Julian, Vanessa. I think there's some other people in here. I'm trying to scroll back and find you guys. But anyway, and Bosco, thank you guys so much for being here. So where should we start? Hi, Joe. I feel like there are two major points that we need to discuss, and there's probably a lot of other things. But first of all, the incident with Kieran, I definitely think that he's one of the killers, which I know I've said that all along, but I'm feeling very positive about that, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. And the second thing that I thought was something we really needed to discuss was the fact that Sabo had drawn Branson being tied up, and how would he have known about that considering he wasn't in the room when this happened and only Brooke was, right? So we need to talk about that. So let's start off with Kieran. I want to know what your thoughts are. I'll tell you my thoughts. I think that his little plan went wrong. He was trying to get Emma to come into the funhouse. Now, you have to remember, I think he was filming himself I think he put the tape on his mouth. He was filming himself. Now, someone was filming Emma walking into the funhouse. So I still think we go with our two killers here, and somebody was outside doing that. Now, if that is the case, unless he was outside filming and then he walks inside, if that was the case, we have Zoe, Brooke, Noah, and Audrey all in one area. So they're together. I don't think it can be them. Somebody was following Emma. So who was that? Okay. That's what we need to think about. Unless you think that he was the one out there walking, watching her from behind, and then he came in there with the mask on. All right. So I think what happened is when the police officer came in, he didn't count on the police following Emma around. So when the police officer came in and then backup came in, he panicked and he put the mask on and then ran out pretending like somebody put that mask on him. Or actually, he already had that on, and he ran out like saying, oh my God, I was attacked and someone was trying to hurt me, whatever. So I think that we can pretty much count on him being one of the killers. Now, because of that, they're kind of giving us this pretty early into season 2. So we have to think that who is his accomplice? I don't think it's going to be as easy because Kieran was pretty much handed to us, in my opinion. Hi, Daniela. Hi, Tazy. Hi, something, something. Hi, Sally. Hi, Aaron. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to go to your comments now and see what you guys are thinking about my Kieran theory and what your theories are. I know I've seen some people in here say that definitely think that he's one of the killers. I've definitely thought that all along. And to be completely honest, I think he was a killer from season 1. I still believe there were 2 killers in season 1. Because if you go back and look, everything couldn't have been done by Piper. And I had him as my main suspect of season 1, and it ended up being Piper, which I had her as a suspect, but not as high. So I think that he was doing stuff last season, and he's doing stuff this season. And in my opinion now, I can look at the Eli and Kieran thing 2 different ways. I think either they're working together, or I think that Eli has been truthful about Kieran, how he's worried about Emma being around him, how he's telling Emma stuff about how he changed and how he's just not, basically trustworthy. And he's being honest, and Kieran is lying. So Ralph is saying, why didn't Kieran just unduct tape his hand and mouth? His left hand was free and he was not drugged. See, I think that pretty much shows us that he was the killer. If it were me and I, was the killer, I think I would have taken that outfit off and then run out like, oh, I have been attacked and, my mouth was duct taped. I can't believe he came out in the killer outfit with a weapon. But I think he just ran out of time, honestly. So, as far as Audrey being Piper's accomplice, I don't really think she technically was. I think that she did assist her unknowingly, like she kind of helped her get there. It might have been helping her some, but I don't know if she was really doing the killings and stuff like that. So I don't know. So, okay, somebody is saying that Haley is the killer. And I missed your first half of your message, so that makes no sense to me. So if you want to repost that, I think it's Fornius. If you want to repost that, let me know and I will read it again. Hi, nerd. Thanks for being here. Yeah, as Megapoke says, Audrey just brought Piper to Lakewood. They were making a documentary on Brandon James. I really think that might be her only involvement here. I don't really think that she was killing people, even though I've thought about that for a while, but I don't think that's going on, or was going on. Here's another thought. What do I think about multiple killers? So I definitely think there's 2 killers. Could there be 3 or 4? I mean, 4 is a lot. Maybe 3. I don't know. Daniela says the killer will always try to get to everyone on a personal level. Zoe has been trying to have a connection with everyone she might be helping. She definitely could be helping. But last night she was, in an area with Noah and all of those people while this attack was going on with Emma. So if she's a part of this, then I would have to say 3 people are a part of it, unless we want to believe that Kieran was filming Emma. Somebody was filming Emma as she walked into the fun house. Somebody was in the fun house with Emma. So how do we explain all of this? I do agree that Zoe's suspicious. I also still stand by what I've said about the fact she's using Noah. She had a chance to hook up with him last night and she got freaked out and it didn't happen. She never really does anything with him because she doesn't really like him and it's not real. I don't know if you guys caught this in the promo for next week, but they said that Lang and Piper knew each other. So I know that a lot of people had suspected that, and then we kind of dropped that after Lang was killed and she was no longer a suspect. But I don't know what that's going to mean, but that means something. Tazy thinks that there could have been more than 2 killers, kind of like an A-team from Pretty Little Liars. Georgie thinks that Kieran is the killer with Eli or Gustavo. Now, Ralph, who was in the room, had a really good theory maybe like a week ago about, I think he's had this theory for a while, but I think we were talking about it a week ago, about the car accident involving Kieran's step-parents, which he was really concerned that maybe Eli had told Emma a version of the story he didn't want her to, and he was in the car when this happened. Now, Ralph had told me he thought that he caused the accident. I think that's looking very possible. I think Kieran probably killed the step-parents, to be honest. So he's probably someone who's very troubled. I don't know if Eli is going to, I know he's got issues too, but I don't know if he's one of our killers or not. I don't know. What definitely could be going on here is that Eli and Kieran are working together, yet pretending to hate each other. Okay, so Bosco says, I don't think it's Sabo nor Eli. It's too obvious. I don't think it's Sabo, but we need to talk about him, because how did he have the picture of Branson being tied up? How did he know that happened? How I think he knew that happened is that he has access to the video. He's watching the videos that the killer is filming. The only other way to explain that is that he is one of the killers. Ralph says when Miguel is examining the evidence box, you will notice that a tape is missing and it has the Audrey number 2 tape. Audrey had 2 tapes, Emma has 4. Right, and I saw that you mentioned that on my channel, and I haven't had time to get to my comments today. So somebody has messed with the stuff that Lang recorded, and yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that, but not good, I'm sure. Something says actually was hoping that Kieran died. Now, I honestly was hoping they were going to go that way. I was trying to see which way they were going to go, because if they had killed him off, then we know we can't, he's not a suspect. But I think that was the big defining moment there. I think either he dies and he's not a suspect, or he survives and he's the killer. So I feel like that was pretty cut and dry, and we are 99% sure that he's one of our killers. But since they gave it to us that easily, I think that there has to be one more, because that's just too easy. Okay, so Val really does like Eli. Kieran is boring. Kieran is just really, really shady, and I really don't trust him. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the killer. Yeah, the other thing that happened, there were so many things that happened this episode, but there was a tape from Sabo, and when his dad was looking at the evidence, his dad hid that tape. Okay, I don't know what has been going on with Sabo, but something happened with him in Arizona, and they had to leave town, and something about keeping the bodies. I don't even know. I don't know if a lot of that's like red herring stuff, and it's like getting blown out of proportion, or if it really did happen and he's like a psychotic killer. I don't know. But something happened bad, I guess, involving Sabo when he was in Arizona. Okay. Susanna says, do I think Troy was Kieran's stepdad because he acted aggressive, shady when Eli wanted to talk more about his stepdad? Yeah, that could be the case. If so, that means Troy is dead. I didn't really think about that. That could be, I guess, his motivation, maybe? I don't know. That's interesting. I never thought about that. Okay, yes, so Ralph has been talking. I know Ralph left a Sabo theory or an explanation of kind of what could have happened with him in the past. I haven't had a chance to respond, but I will. Louise says maybe Gustavo is not the killer, but he was the one who tortured Seth because he loves Brooke. Okay. I can give, okay. I think that's good. All right, so it was really weird that the person who attacked Stavo or who attacked Branson didn't kill him. I thought that was really strange and unlike the behavior of the killer. Now, we know that Stavo has the mask, so the person was wearing the mask. So I think that's really likely that Stavo attacked but left Branson alive, and then the killer came in there and finished it out by, well, carrying him to the school and then eventually to that house. Hi, Callum. Thank you for being here. Hi, Allie. Allie thinks that Troy might have been Eli's dad that abandoned him. Okay. I definitely think Troy is going to figure into this season. Now, I'm not so sure that Troy is one of our killers or working with one of the teens, but I think he either is going to be making an appearance this season or it's something they can carry on through additional seasons. But I think something's going on there. Again, the sheriff brought up the photo with Emma and that man who I really think has to be Troy. So something's definitely up. Megapoke thinks that the killers are Zoe and Eli. Dren says if Haley is going to be the killer, I'll actually be pissed. I really don't want Haley to be the killer. To me, she's very insignificant. I have argued with some people about Piper. I felt like she was sort of insignificant. So when she was revealed as the killer last season, I wasn't like in love with that, but I can deal with it. I get it. It wasn't upsetting. I really wanted Kieran to be revealed last season, but I think I'm going to get that revealed this season. So it's totally okay how they've played this out. But Haley to me is, way down the road. Like she's less significant than, Piper ever was. So I'm hoping she's just going to be a victim in the next episode because I really dislike the idea of her being the killer. But I don't know. She may have some tie-in to somebody. I'm not sure. Mel says, what do I think about Brooke having her door open and waiting for Stavo in the danger that the killer could appear instead of Stavo? Brooke is a killer suspect or just careless? I have definitely tossed around the thought that Brooke could be a killer for a long time. I think that would be one of the most shocking reveals that they could do. But I definitely don't think she would be working alone. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think definitely she could be. I would really, really like that, but I don't know. So Ralph is under the impression that Miguel believes that it's Troy, Brandon, James. So this tells you that one or both of the brothers are still alive. So yes, I completely agree. And I think there's a great chance that both of them are alive. But I don't know where they're going to go with that. And I don't know if I really doubt that those boys, men, or one of those men is doing the killings, or maybe if so, they're not working with one of the other killer. Like maybe there's more than one killer, but there's somebody doing one thing, and then the person like making the calls and all that is probably like a teenager. But maybe, Troy or Brandon are off doing their own kind of some of the killings, but not all. I just don't see them working unless somebody is related. I don't know. Like if one of them, if Kieran is their kid or something, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Kieran's dad died last season, so I don't know. So apparently Julian says we're going to meet 3 new characters in later episodes, which is crazy. That's crazy. Fornia says Zoe obviously got Brooke drunk willingly, so not sure if it was to win the pageant or if she's a killer. But on the same, yeah, we could say that definitely, but Brooke knew what she was drinking and she kept drinking. So she kind of, as she said herself, she kind of got herself drunk. So I don't know, I really don't know about that. I don't know if Zoe was hoping to do that so that she would get up there and make a crazy speech or do something stupid, which worked, if so, but I don't know. Mel says, so you think of copycats that have nothing in common with season 1 and 2 killers? Oh, am I saying that it's copycats? No, I think that Kieran is one of our killers, and I think he was one of our killers last season. So I think there's some connection. I don't know if there's 100% connection, so I don't know if whoever is revealed as the killers, I don't know if they were killing in season 1 or they were talking to the killers, if they were friends with Piper. I don't know. But yeah, Ralph says Brooke's plan was to make Zoe win. Remember, she said that like when she was helping her to get ready and everything. So Bubbly Ellie says, I feel like Kieran is basically confirmed as the killer. I agree. He's been technically cleared as the killer. He's been tied up and all that. Yeah, and he did that to himself. But, and I think with him being revealed pretty much, I think that just pretty, tells us that there's another killer, at least one more. Okay, did I think Brooke was going to die? No. I really thought that it was going to be some kind of fake out with Sabo coming to her room, and I was right. I just had a feeling, but I was hoping that something like amazing was going to happen at the end of this episode. I really wanted as bad as it sounds, I wanted someone to die, and I wanted like someone significant to die. So I was kind of bummed that didn't happen. But that's okay, because I really thought, you know what, Kieran could definitely die, and I was going to be really happy with that, because I think that would have been a good twist, because he was, a suspect for so many of us. Hi, Jack. Thank you for being here. Daniela says, remember when Zoe was talking to Noah, and she said she did something stupid last fall, but she never said what it was. Yeah, I mean, she has been someone who has been mentioned last season. So for her to be revealed as a killer would make sense, because she wasn't really around, but she may have been behind the scenes involved in the dirty work. Ralph actually thought something was going to happen to Noah. And to mention Noah, I feel like, he has been my number one suspect for a long time, but honestly, I don't know. I'm starting to drop. I mean, after last night's episode, I feel like he's not the killer, but if they turn around and make him a killer, like that would really shock me. Dren says the most logical, and your comment just flew away. Most logical killers will be Sabo and Kieran. The thing about Sabo that I can't get past is that drawing of Branson, but whoever mentioned that he was the one who tortured him, but then someone else is responsible for him dying in the fire and everything. I like that, because I don't understand why he was tortured and left alive, but I don't know. So yeah, somebody sent Audrey's audio to Emma. We see that's going to blow up, next week, because everyone pretty much is going to hate Audrey. And then Audrey feels really betrayed by Noah. So I don't know who sent it, but Zoe was the one who had access to it and emailed it to somebody. So it seems like it would be her, but maybe not. So Fornia says the showrunners, Richard Register and Michael Gans, have been seen in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. Said in an interview that the killer wouldn't be revealed in the same way or at the same time as we've come to expect. So that's interesting. And I don't know, they may just go with one killer, although I don't think it's one killer. They may not give us the two killers. They may drag that out. Yeah, so maybe Kieran being obvious is something intended. So Susanna asked if I think Kieran's motive is his anger towards Emma because his dad got killed pretty much because of Emma. Well, I mean, it's hard for me to, he really seems to care about Emma, but maybe that's all fake. So I'm wondering, was he going to kill her in the funhouse if the cops hadn't come in? Is that what his plan was? I mean, that really seems like that's what his plan was. So I don't know. Will ask if I think Troy could have adopted Piper, since next week's episode is called The Orphanage. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because Brandon was presumed dead or not around or whatever, or maybe actually dead. So he could have adopted his niece. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Allie says Zoe is still her main suspect, but have heard rumors that she's going to die next week. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely probably, top 3 for me, but I don't know. Maybe it's Kieran and Brooke. I mean, Brooke would be such a dark horse, JR. That would be so awesome, honestly. I think that would be such a huge twist. I would love that personally. I don't have, I don't think they've backed it up to prove it, but they could. I don't know. Daniela says, can't be Emma, Eli, Gustavo, or Audrey, so that leaves Brooke, Kieran, Noah from the main cast. Callum says, feels that Sabo could have put the camera in the hotel room, which could have been to help him draw his comic book about the Lakewood 5/6. Well, did he know that Brooke was going there? That's the only thing. I can't remember. Did she tell him that? I mean, yeah, obviously someone's filming all of this. Like we've talked about, they're making a movie or a reality show, and someone was filming Emma last night. They filmed all of the murder scenes pretty much. They were probably planning on filming the Emma murder scene if that had happened. Yeah, I did see the promo for next week. What were you confused about, Will? Mel says we're talking about, yeah, so a lot of people think there is a male killer and a female killer. Ralph says either Zoe is trying to keep Audrey away from Noah or get everyone away from Audrey so she can do whatever with Audrey. She's definitely got a serious issue with Audrey, and obviously Noah and Audrey don't like each other in a way that should threaten her if she really liked Noah. So I can only say that she's up to something not good at all. Yeah, that would be good. Nerd would like to see a moment where Emma has to choose to save either Audrey or Kieran. That would be really interesting. Okay, so Ellie saw Miss Lang alive in the promo in the hospital bed. I thought she was murdered, but did she live? And then the other thing was last night, Audrey couldn't figure out like how we had 12 victims. And I know that we talked about it last week and we counted 12 victims. So I got confused when she was like, couldn't figure out who the 12 dead were. Hi, Ricky. Yeah, no problem. I'll see you just a little bit. You can hang out. Maybe you'll start watching Scream. Scream is really good. Daniela says, am I the only one who finds Noah and Zoe awkward? Yeah, I don't feel like it's real. And the awkward part for me is I think that Zoe is totally using him. So it's completely fake, in my opinion. Drin thinks the most logical killers would be Kieran and Sabo. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This season to me is better than last season because I feel like it's a lot more difficult and there's a lot more suspects. I just feel like it's really hard to figure out. And every time I watch a new episode, I get a little more confused. But the one thing I think this episode, like we've talked about, has really cleared up is the fact that Kieran has to be one of our, I just don't see a way around that. Okay. Are you the only one who misses Riley and Noah together? Wow, that's been a minute, hasn't it, Mecca? Mel says, why I think of a female killer. We're talking about Pretty Little Liars. The victims were always weakened before being killed. I'm not really sure if I understand what you're saying there, but you might want to say it again. Fornia says the promo has Haley with the killer and not someone with the cheap rubber Brandon James mask. So she was with, oh no, there goes your, okay, she was with someone with a real Brandon James mask. Okay. So I'm really hoping, honestly, that Haley gets killed. I mean, I don't like her at all. Joe thinks that Kieran and Haley are the killers. But with Haley being with the real killer, that kind of makes her look suspicious to me, you know? Jeffrey doesn't want someone we have met this season to be the killer. Really? Okay, so you want it to be like Troy James or somebody? Like, I want it to be people we know, just because I hate when shows pull out someone like they're like, oh, this is someone's sister or brother or whatever, and like we've never seen them before. Hi, Jesus. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to mention a few things. So my video about this week's episode will be live tomorrow. And if you are just now seeing my channel or if you've seen me but you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and also thumbs up this video. That would just make me so happy, and you can keep up with the rest of MTV Scream with me. Also, I wanted to say that Scream After Dark, I think that's what they call it, was on last night. Hi, Eva. Thanks for being here. I don't know if you guys saw it because I know some people in other countries don't have access to it, but it was actually really funny, and they did some like spoofs on YouTube videos, and you kind of get to see like the actors' personalities more in that, and it's all like kind of, it's completely a comedy. It's really cute. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but they said they're going to have one more, and they had one for the premiere, so I'm thinking they're going to have one for the finale. So I don't know if anyone saw it, but if you do have access to it in the future, I would suggest you watch yesterday's or the one for the finale, because I thought it was really good. So Megapokes thinks the killer who Haley kisses in the promos, her boyfriend in the costume, is an episode 9 Halloween based, so it would make sense that he has a costume. Yeah, I mean, that could totally happen. Daniela has heard a rumor about Scream being canceled. I really hope not. I know they were having some issues because they had the Monday night time slot at 11, which I felt like was honestly too late for this type of show to be on. And then they had to move it, which is a very weird thing to do after a show already starts. They moved it to Tuesday at 10. So I felt like that was a ratings issue. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely, and I know we all love it. So I'm hoping that that's not true, but you just never know. I mean, we love it and a lot of people love it, but that doesn't mean it has enough ratings to, keep going on. I don't know if Miss Lang is still alive. Apparently, people think she's alive for next, in next week's promo. So I don't know. I wasn't so sure when she was slammed to the ground. I wasn't sure if she was dead because I think that they said she had a pulse at the time, but then we all assumed that she died. So I really don't know. Yeah, so some of you have seen the Scream After Dark. It's really funny, and you really get to see the actors like the way they are, I feel like. Yeah, I'll be really upset because this would be the second show that I really love getting canceled this year because I loved The Family, even though it was just the first season. Yeah, she could be brain dead, right? She could be like a vegetable, Miss Lang. But anyway, The Family was awesome and it got canceled, so I'm really going to be upset if this one gets canceled too. Eye Candy, I didn't watch, but apparently, was that canceled? I haven't seen that one. Okay, so it looks like Miss Lang is alive, but that's going to be interesting because they're saying she knows Piper. So I don't know what's up with that, but there must be something there or they wouldn't keep her alive and mention that, So I'm still having trouble with our second killer if we do. What's hard is we don't know if there's a second killer. But I feel like there has to be since they've pretty much given us the Kieran information. So I'm still not at the point where I can say, this is who the killer is. And I think the finale, I looked it up, I think it's like August 16th, so we still have a little bit. So Luke says there were a lot of cops at the carnival. How did they not see the killers come in or something? Well, I guess the killers weren't, wearing their outfits, didn't have a weapon visible. They definitely should have been like checking everyone with metal detectors and stuff, but it's a TV show, so things fall through the cracks. What if Miss Lang is Piper's mom? A couple people have mentioned that to me before. I feel like Piper, I guess it's supposed to be like 16, and Miss Lang, they did kind of look alike. I felt like she was in her 20s. I didn't feel like the ages would match up, but maybe they're going to say Miss Lang is older. I don't know, but it seemed like she wouldn't be old enough to be. But yeah, we had Billy Loomis, and the mom was the killer in season 2, or not season 2, but Scream 2. So yeah, Eye Candy was a murder show. They canceled it because people were offended. Well, this is a hardcore, gruesome murder show. So if that is the case, if it's that offensive to people, which I don't really understand. I mean, I guess some people worry that teenagers will go out and copy what they see on Scream. As far as being offended, like if I don't like a show, I just don't watch it. So if you're offended by Scream, I'm not sure why you're watching it or care, but a lot of shows have violence, and I don't think that shows make people do things. And if they do, then there's something else going on, Oh, they said that Lang and Piper were sisters? That would make more sense to me with the ages. Okay, I missed that. Totally missed that. So, yeah, it would totally suck if this show gets canceled. I would be very upset because it's definitely one of my favorite shows. Okay, so thank you guys so much for clearing that up. Apparently, Piper and Lang are sisters, which is really bad because then we know that Miss Lang was probably not a good person, maybe, but why was she attacked and almost killed? If she was like, yeah, I agree. So Miss Lang is going to be like in the age group with Branson, who was probably in the late 20s. And I think she was in her late 20s. So for her to be Piper's mom doesn't make sense. So it makes a lot more sense for her to be Piper's sister. So we just have a couple of minutes left. If you have any additional comments, you can comment quickly, but just a reminder, if you didn't know, that this video shows up on my channel like in 5 minutes after we're done here. So if you showed up late, you can go back and watch the entire thing. If I missed your comment, which was totally not on purpose, please comment on that video because I can go back and comment on those. Those comments don't disappear. They disappear on here. So I missed some and I don't mean to. So Mel wants to know, why didn't the killers kill off Audrey if she's dangerous for them instead of blackmailing her? I've always wondered that. I don't know if the show writers just want to keep her on the show or if there's something else going on with that. If they're sisters, how are they related? Daisy only had Piper and Emma, and Brandon only had Piper. So what if Miss Lang is a stepsister, right? Well, and then Miss Lang, I guess she she's probably not Brandon's kid is what I'm thinking, right? I'm so confused now. All right, so who is Piper's mom? Now I'm getting really, really confused here. I'm so confused. Who is Piper's mom? Because her dad is Brandon James, right? So I'm trying to figure out maybe Piper is a stepsister. Oh, now you're thinking they were both in the same children's home, like an orphanage. It did look like they showed that picture from an orphanage, Eva. Okay, that probably makes more sense. Right, so I don't think Maggie is Miss Lang's mom. Yeah, seems like they're orphanage sisters. Makes a lot more sense. So they could have been, yeah, Maggie was Piper's mom. That's right, Maggie was Piper's mom. but she's Emma's mom, but Emma has a different dad. I'm sorry. This is getting confusing. It really is. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, so like orphanage sisters. So maybe they didn't like each other in the orphanage, you know? I don't know. JR says maybe Miss Ling was attacked because the other killer, Kieran, didn't want her to kill Emma because he wanted to, and they're working together. Yeah, I still don't get why he would want to kill Emma, but like someone said, maybe he blames her for his dad's death. What if Kieran, Eli, and Kieran's aunt are the killers? I could see that happening. Yeah, I definitely want. Yeah, Piper was older. She's 21, so she can't be Miss Lang's kid. I want to see an epic fight scene with Emma and the killer, says Luke. That will be cool. I agree, definitely. It is time to go because I have another show coming up in a few minutes after this. It's PLL, so I hope I see some of you guys there. But again, please leave your comments on this video, which will be up in about 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. I love you guys. This is so much fun. I know that next week's episode is going to be amazing because they just get better like every single week. So thank you guys for being here. And I'm sorry for any of you who were confused with this almost not happening because of Twitter, what I said on Twitter. So I'm sorry if I messed anyone up or you got here late because of that. I really apologize. So thank you guys, and I will see you next week. I love you guys. And I'll see a lot of you in like 30 minutes. So bye.